morning, everybody. It's Barb from Barb's Ink Pad. It's 10 o'clock. It's Friday. I'm back. And I'm here this week after a wonderful cruise with my family, with my daughter and son-in-law and grandson, and a couple of good friends. And we had some fun. Some crappy weather on one stop, but that's okay. My group likes to spend it in a bar, so that's where we were. That's okay. But welcome back, and it's another sneak peek day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sneak peeking something from the annual catalog, the 2022-2023 annual catalog. That will be available to everyone May 3rd. And what I'm going to show today is the Sun Prince Suite. Let me flip this down here. And this is the entire Sun Prince Suite. Get my teeth in. And I've been back almost a week. The Sun Prince Suite includes the Nature's Prince bundle, which is the stamp set, which is really cool. Loving this font. It's really pretty. And the die cuts, and I'll show you what they cut out in a few minutes. It also includes this Fern 3D embossing folder, which is, I'm really liking this folder. It's really cool. And it also includes these gorgeous papers. The colors in, this is sticking to that. Got a piece of little sticky stuff there. The colors are really, really gorgeous. They just are really striking, especially when you see. Normally, I'll say sometimes some pictures don't do it any justice, but the pictures in the new catalog really do this justice. And they include the colors with this are Starry Night, which is one of the new ink colors, Night of Navy, Gray Granite, Pacific Point. And obviously you can see Whisper White is in there as one of the neutral colors, but they don't do it. But these are the papers. These are really pretty. It's like on one side is the blues and the other side is the gray. So here's this one, and it's got that ferny stuff, and it just looks real whispery, and you can see this. It's the same thing. It's the gray granite and the white. And here, this would make an awesome, if you're into scrapbooking, this would make an awesome scrapbooking page. And what you can even do with this, you could even do this into 6x6 and do it, like that. And just use one of these papers and emboss it with some white, do the fern and white embossing powder. Oh, would that be pretty? Oh, amazing. And this is the other side. Well, the other side, I said it was gray granite, but this is more like just blue. This would make a great cloud. Imagine a cloudy scene. Ooh, nice. And then here's one with a little bit of everything. It's sort of like the gray granite, the Pacific Point. I think it's more like it's hard for me sometimes. You can see the difference between Starry Night and Night of Navy when you get them up together, but I like this. I'm a fan of just kind of blotchy stuff. And then the other side, I see I lied again. This looks like it might be it's kind of hard to tell. You could almost mix this new orchid kind of thing with it, but it's like some different lines. See, that's what I get for thinking that everything was like sort of the grays on the other side. And this one is just like, it looks like, reminds me of little dandelions, all over the place. Here we go. And here is just some, nice textured kind of a thing with the gray granite. And this reminds me of the paper in the Sweet Conversations kind of suite in the January to June catalog that's still not, but it reminds me of the red paper the red and white paper that was in that. And then here's the other side, which is like the ferns and the other kind of stuff. Okay, cool. And then this one is just a variety of the kind of ferny things. And then here's just a little bit of a smaller print with the gray granite. And that was it. Now the die cuts. Here's the die cuts. And here are the pictures of them. This is like a wreath, which is really kind of nice. I have to figure out what I want to do with that. What I thought I was going to do with it with ones I didn't do with it. And this will cut out, this particular one will cut out this. That's a die cut for that. This is this fern. This is that flower. And this is that weedy looking thing. And then these are just some little extra added attractions. If you want to cut it out, you can cut them out in here. And here you see these two are the same. So you can cut two at a time if you wanted to use two of these. And here these little things, you can see that two of them kind of point one way and one of them points the other way. And then there is this cool label. I'm liking this label, and I'm going to show you something else. And this is the card I'm going to make with this. So you can see with the layering circles, that smallest circle fits right inside there. But I'm going to use a little bit different circle. I'm going to use the scalloped one when I demonstrate the card. But you can see, it just, there's so much with the gray granite. I'm so used to using white with everything, I used it for doing that. But so used to doing white, but you don't have to. But I did do it on the inside and just stamp the inside of the card with that. Always got to stamp something with the inside of the card. Yep. And on the envelope also. So I'm going to put that over there. And you can see with this, I used Starry Night and gray granite. The base is Starry Night. Oops. The base is Starry Night. And these are my scraps that I'm going to use. So there's the Starry Night. And I embossed this with the fern already. I think y'all know how to emboss stuff. And that just goes right on there. And I'm trying to think, yeah, I can put this on here now because I don't need anything else to go around this. So, well, here in Baltimore, this weather has been, after a few days, after, like a week on the boat, well, it took us a while to get down there. Why is this not working right? After, a week, we left out of Baltimore, which will be a little bit on the chilly side. There we go. I think I was trying to pull it the wrong way. After a week, I don't know why this is like really funky. It's really funky. If you have any trouble with this, it looks like, I don't know what this is doing, but let's see if we can get it kind of rolling. It looks kind of loose, and I'm not sure what it's doing. It's acting bizarro. I'm not going to worry about that now. I've got my tear and tape here. I'm going to, and I just put that in there yesterday, and I don't know why it's acting funny. But let me get some tear and tape. So after, like it was a little chilly on the way down there going out of Baltimore because we left on the 10th of April. And so it was a little chilly, but I did not take a heavier jacket than a little spring jacket. And I will admit that I did have a sweater on with that too. So it was kind of nice. But once we got, actually, you know, the water was pretty calm. I've gone out of Baltimore before, and this was probably the calmest. I probably could have gotten that on there a little bit better, but there, we'll put that on the side. Hey Kay, how are you? So welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. And then on this, then I have a piece of, oh, here it is. I have a piece of the paper, the DSP, and I am going to put this on here, but first I am going to stamp it with the gray granite using my little splotches. I like I said, I am a splotch lover. I really like splotches. Every time I think they discontinue a stamp that has splotches on it, they bring back another set with splotches, but you can just kind of go like that. There we go. Clean that off. But once we got, the water was pretty calm going down to the, we were, where were we? We were in, Princess Cays, which is one of the kind of islands. I think it's owned by Carnival, because Princess and, hey Kathy, how are you? Got your coffee? It's one of the islands that's owned by Carnival, because Carnival they own quite a bit. They own Princess lines. They own some European lines. They own quite a few things. So even though you may just be on one, you know, like I think it's, you know, it's sort of like banks. They eventually all turn into one. But it was fun. But when we were in, I believe it was Princess Cays, and we were doing a glass bottom boat tour, glass edge boat. And then with this, I'm also going to use some of the shiny ribbon. But let me do these other pieces first. The wonderful ribbon that's part of the In Colors. It's amazing, amazing ribbon. I love it. Okey-doke. The shiny, sparkly ribbon. The one thing that I didn't get on my pre-order, which I ordered yesterday, because I hope everybody got to take advantage, if you wanted to, of the free shipping yesterday. So I did do that. Okay, now, okay, I need a piece. This is for my inside. Need a piece of white. I always got scraps of white all over the place. So I'm going to stamp this. This is kind of a funny piece. You would think it would fit on this, but it's a little bit, yeah, it kind of does. Kind of does, but I just decided that I'm going to put it right on this. It's the next to the biggest kind of rectangular block, and use the Starry Sky. I love this Starry Sky. Dun, 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 dun. And I can put that there. And then I'm going to use the gray, the gray granite. I was back to going away. And they said, you would think that, you know, like the Bahamas and all like that, the Caribbean where we were, you would think that it's in, they said, you know, like everybody thinks that it's in the Caribbean, but it's really not. It's actually where they are is the West Atlantic. And it's like, huh? But if you think of the Atlantic Ocean out there, we are on the west side of the Atlantic. not the east side, even though you think we're on the East Coast. It's just a little bizarre thinking. Yeah, it is fun to play with, because I'm going to show you a couple other samples that I did with that. Let me get my little buddy out here, my little thing, and I can put these through the little one. I don't have to bring out the big ones. Because, like, remember I told you last time I didn't get the little one out because I couldn't find my plates for it? Well, as you would think, they were right there, but that was after I had already ordered the other set. So it's like I got plenty of plates, so when these kind of wear out, I've got that. So I got this. Let me see if I get these. So, all right, put this in here. So, and then to be perfectly honest, it just took me a little bit of time when I got back to get back into going down and stamping. So there's that little thing. Let me put that there so I don't lose it, because I will. And then this is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite stamps in that set. I really like that. And let's put this in here. And like I said, I'm really loving the fern. You know, the fern is going to look cool, you know, like especially with some of the like tropical things, you know, like the tropical palms. Use that because it's just a fun embossing folder. Yeah, I know. At least I did. I put them right where I thought I had these plates, which I did, but they were kind of shoved down. So I keep all my little mini plates together. So, but I do. It's like somebody had posted something the other day about, you know, and it's true about, oh, it was with crocheting. It's this one spot that I'm on, and then I'm going to cut out this because I've got this little spot down here. It was crocheting, and there was a picture of a crochet hook, and on the picture of the crochet hook it said, "Have you seen me?" And it's like, yes, I found you after I looked for days, and then after I got another one. I bought another one. And that happens to me all the time. It's like, I know I have that size. Where is it? And I go to find it, and I can't find it. And I'll get another one. So I've got like so many doubles of different crochet hooks. Okay, the one I'm going to use for this one is this I'm going to use the scalloped one instead of just the plain one for this. But it's the same thing with this, you know, like it's like you go to order something, and it's like, and these smaller ones fit it just in there just perfectly, which makes it really kind of cool. And then put something on there. And the one thing that I didn't have for these, and that I did order, and I thought, you know, you think you order everything with the pre-order, but I didn't get the dots, or else I couldn't get the dots when they first were offered, but they're there now. So it's like, so I'm excited. So I'm, you know, like I'll get the new in-colored dots and some other cool goodies. There's that, and here's this. And let me put this in here before I lose that and lose this. Anybody else have a collection of loose stamps? They don't remember which set they go to. I wish at one point, do these have it on there? at one point, which is what I really, really liked, Stampin' Up, and maybe it was Sizzix had put the actual number on the die cuts. And then here's this. I already cut out a label and I use the DSP. So I think the this will give it just enough. Let me use some of these. So now I'm ticked off because they seem to start to run low. I ordered some more. I've still got a couple in there, but like I'm really ticked off now that's not screwed up. That's yeah, they're in short supply. The Stampin' Seal, the regular one. So see how that fits in there just perfect. Like I said, this is the small scalloped one, and the other is the small plain one that I used on this card. Yeah. So then I put down these two. I put this one down. Excuse me. But it was fun, like I said, going out of Baltimore, because I didn't have to worry about what I can take, number one, worrying about what you need for the cruise, plus how much you can take on a plane. So just going from here, easy peasy, no plane. So I could take what I wanted. And then all I have to worry about is just, getting it in the car. But my son, his car's he dropped us and picked us up, which was cool. Which we came back Easter Sunday. Used a lot of glue dots on that one. Da-da-da-da. And so I'm going to put this on here. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this. Just use some glue dots to put this on. So we came back Easter Sunday, so then it was just a matter of just kind of relaxing and coming back. It's like, I don't want to be home. And put that there. And then I'm just going to take and put some tear and tape on the back of this, because I want to wrap the ribbon around a couple of times. So, and then we came, like I said, it was sort of a rude awakening when we came back, because the sun was out on Easter, but the wind was just a whipping away. So it was like a rude awakening, and watch some of these brave children get off that boat with their sleeveless outfits on. And I've got a sweater and a jacket, and it's like, whoa. So then I just cut a piece of this, and I'm just going to put a piece of this down here, and I just wrapped it around twice. I love this ribbon. I think it's so pretty. And then that's what I did before with some other things that I did. It was just a little bit too much to keep with that. Put that on there. And then I just kind of I was kind of, do I want to do this? It'd be a part, yes, no, they haven't changed it. The cost is expensive to stay there, to park there. And we've traveled with some other friends, like out of, cruising with other friends down to other ports, like out of Florida and even out of California where we went. And it did not seem, I want to grab some dimensionals. I thought I brought them over. And we would kind of get a cab to take us from the hotel, or, or a limo or whatever, they have different things, vans, whatever, for so many people. And because like my daughter was like, she's like, oh, she had emailed me back, and I said, yeah, I already checked the price on that. Their price for like a limo, because it would have been 7 of us, was like, for a round trip, was like over $600 just to take us from Middle River to the port. What's that, 20 minutes? And to take us back home again. It was like, you have got to be kidding. So that's why, at first you kind of hated to bother, people, because it was Easter Sunday. But my son said, no, I'll do it. Cool. So it worked out. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Welcome, welcome. And then on this, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this one instead of the little flower. Change it around. This way I have something different. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. But yeah, my son, my daughter-in-law, and their friends, and they're our friends too. They live across the street from one another, so they all came together. So they split the cost of the parking there. At least I know even when we go to the airport to have to do something, we've been doing it like the park and relax pass, park face, where you park, and then they'll actually pick you up at your car and just drive right to your car and take you right to your, where the plane goes out. Like all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, what's it called? And like that. But then my other friends, what they've been doing too is a couple times they've been going and spending the night down by the airport, because they can leave their car there for the week, and the the hotel will take them right to the departure gate. So, all right, and put that on the inside, and there you go. And it really doesn't take all that long. Park and ride, yeah. And park and rides are fun. And actually, I've done it enough that, I got a card for them, and I got 3 days free parking. So I don't know what we're going to do. We've got another one in October. So let me show you a couple of other cards. So this is one where the only thing that I changed up was I did like the little scalloped edges for the hello, and the other one is just the plain. But let me show you another card I did, and here's another one. And I just used a little pop of, I used the Tasteful Textures embossing folder for this. And this is just a little pop of color that I use. I use the Flirty Flamingo. And then here's the one side of the paper and the other side. And I just cut it in half. And then I cut this off a little bit more just to kind of fit that in there. And then these are from the Gentle Waves thing. And then I didn't do anything on the inside yet, so we won't look at that. And then I took and I just made something like really simple to show off like the in colors. There we go. So there's the Starry Night. So it's just using a piece of that. And then this is the DSP for the in colors. It was just something simple, and then just that on the inside. And so there's that, and then here's the parakeet parakeets. It'll be whatever it wants to be. And then here's the orchidy one. It's like all of a sudden I can't remember colors. there's that. And then this is going to be one of my favorites. I can see this is the Sweet Sorbet. And then the Tahiti. Oh, I'm going to get really crazy here. The Tahiti, and it still reminds me of Tempting Turquoise. I wish I had a Tempting Turquoise to bring it back around to see how close it was to that. Let me see. Because I'm going to get these right yet. Okay, yeah. Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. So, you know, it's like those. And those are just really, yeah, thank you, Kathy. Decided to try to look it up. But these, it's just, you know, you can do something just really simple with that, you know, with that, and then the other kind of thing, and they just look really elegant. And then these are the beveled, opaque looking, not opaque looking, but, you know, sparkling rhinestones. And that's what I had. So, but I just kind of wanted to show off the suite, and you don't just have to stay in the suite. You can use it with any colors. And like I said, here we go, you know, showing off with that, which makes it just like really kind of cool, because I like that. I saw something on Facebook or Pinterest, and I thought, oh, that looks good, because you can just dress it up with that fern embossing folder. Amazing. It just makes it fun. So everybody, have a good weekend. And I am not going to be here next weekend, because next weekend I am on a retreat. I will be gone from Thursday until Sunday. So, but I may pop back in maybe during the week sometime, because I'm getting some other kind of cool stuff this week. So we'll see what happens. So have a good weekend till then, and stay warm, stay cool. I don't know what this weather's going to do. It's going to be hot for a couple of days, and then cool for a couple of days, and then rain, and that's Maryland weather. So have a good one, and I'll see you later. You're welcome for share. I love to share. Thank you for sharing my site. Thanks, Kay. Have a good weekend.